Yeah, it's always a good reminder. Here's what's interesting. Overall, the rate of colon cancer has steadily decreased over the past couple of decades, except when it comes to younger adults. So now the recommendation is to get a colonoscopy at the age of 45, not 50 like it used to be.
We recommend screening to start at age 45. That is unless you have a family history of early onset colon cancer, in which case we recommend you start screening 10 years before the age of your early colon cancer family history. So if you had a family member who developed colon cancer at age 40, you would start at age 30. And so that's for average risk people who are starting at 45, but earlier if you have higher risks.
Dr. Jill Tour says that colon cancer is not an uncommon cancer, but it is completely preventable. You just need to do your part.
Signs and symptoms to look out for are a change in your stool caliber, meaning the actual shape. It can become pencil thin because if you think about a tumor compressing your actual bowel movements, it can change its shape. Another thing to look out for is blood in the bowel movements. That's a really important thing to keep an eye out for. I wouldn't chalk it up to just hemorrhoids if it's happening over and over again. Other things to look out for are anemia, specifically iron deficiency anemia. So if you're at your PCP and you're getting your blood checked and all of a sudden they tell you you're anemic, meaning your blood counts are a little bit low, and specifically that your iron levels are low, which is a specific type of anemia, that is a sign that you could have a colon cancer.
Weight loss, another symptom to look out for. But again, if you have family history, you should be on high alert, the average person, for those types of things. So we also discussed how, for most people, it is an unpleasant process, right? The prep work before the actual procedure is really what people dread the most.
It's definitely not pleasant, and as of 2024, we don't have a very pleasant way to prep people. Nonetheless, I'd say your best chance of detecting small polyps, which can be, the precursors to a cancer, are to have a very clean colon. So I would follow all the instructions in drinking that prep. There are a bunch of less invasive tests that we offer. They include testing your stool for blood or, mutations. You can also do imaging like a CT colonography, but that still requires you to drink the prep. Nonetheless, any of those things, if they find an abnormality, you're still going to get a colonoscopy. So we still consider colonoscopy to be the gold standard for screening specifically, and especially if you have symptoms, I would opt for a colonoscopy and have the procedure done so that someone can directly visualize and intervene if necessary.
It's important to note that African Americans are at a higher risk of getting colon cancer and have a higher likelihood of dying from it than their Caucasian counterparts. The recommendation is to get a colonoscopy every 7 to 10 years, depending how clean your colon was following that colonoscopy. And we were just talking about that right now, right? Something to start thinking about. An important thing, especially if you have family history.
Good stuff, and stories like this help to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.